Hello, Northside Baptist family and friends. My name is Pastor Cody, and I serve as the youth pastor here. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve the body and to serve our wonderful teenagers, 6th through 12th grade, and their families. I have had such a privilege of doing so. Over the last couple of weeks, maybe you've noticed, maybe not, but I have been absent. As you know, I have had an issue with the bottom of my foot for almost a year now. And I was given the name of a great surgeon in San Antonio that took me in a couple weeks ago and did foot surgery and repaired a structure issue with my foot. And now I am on the road to recovery. Got to see him Wednesday, and he said it's picture perfect, exactly the way that he would want everything to look. And they took all the gauze and everything off, and I'm back in a cast for a few more weeks. So hopefully before the end of April, I will be fully released to walk and be normal as I can be as a youth pastor. But also this last week, Abigail had shoulder surgery to repair her shoulder after a car wreck. So we have been a family that has been busy with surgery and recovery over spring break and this last week. So thank you for your thoughts and your prayers and just your visits. People have brought food and hung out for a little while. We have had people picking up kids and taking kids to school every morning for us. So thank you for being the body and the hands and feet of Christ to our family this last week. You have been such a blessing. Yesterday was the first day that I got to be back with you, and it was so nice to be back with the body. So this week, leading through Holy Week, we are taking a journey to the cross. On Sunday mornings, Daryl has been focusing the last few weeks on this journey that Jesus took to the cross and the meaning, and really diving deep into some of the things that are going on really behind the scenes, and some things that we may overlook as we read the crucifixion story and the resurrection story. And we're going to do something a little bit different than we've done in years past. We're really going to focus on a specific time on Thursday. So I have that 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning. And most of us, we are getting ready to get up and go throughout our day, getting our family out the door, getting to work. And we are, not thinking about a trial. Jesus, about 6 o'clock in the morning, is brought before Pilate. And Pilate is a governor of the area that Jesus was actually in at the time. And he's in Jerusalem, and he is to keep the peace there. His whole job, his whole purpose is to govern over the area, to make sure that nobody's getting out of line, nobody's taking advantage of the government, and everybody is going the way that they're supposed to and doing the things that they're supposed to. And if anything happens, he's there to just squash it immediately. If there's a discussion that gets out of line, or if there's a riot that happens, or if there's someone that tries to stand up to the government, he moves in very quickly, very swiftly to take care of it, because that's his job. And we get to see two leaders in this story, Pilate and Herod. We really don't get a lot of information about Herod, and we really don't know that much about Pilate, but we do know that these two men basically interview and put Jesus on trial. And it starts with Pilate early in the morning. The religious leaders of the Sanhedrin and the high priest and elders of the Jewish body bring Jesus, since he's been arrested the night before, they bring Jesus to Pilate, and he is put on trial. And Pilate begins to ask him questions and trying to figure out what he's guilty of. And in that day and age, you would have three people that would testify against you and what you have been charged with. And they pretty much drum up some charges. And the people that are there to testify against them really don't have anything to put against Jesus. And Pilate begins to figure that out. And he knows that there's something more behind this, but this man legally is not guilty of anything. And he decides that, I don't want to cause any more disruption. I don't want to be involved in this. So I heard that this man's from Galilee. So I want to send him to Herod, which was in Jerusalem also, for Passover. And the clock is ticking, and these people have to get this done before Passover, because if it happens as Passover festival begins, they're not going to have anything to happen. So these religious leaders are also trying to figure out how to get Jesus out of the way. So Pilate sends Jesus over to Herod, and he puts him on trial. And Herod knows Jesus. Herod is actually looking forward to the fact of seeing Jesus and being able to spend some time with Jesus. And he finds no wrong, and he can't do anything to help the situation. So he washes his hands of the situation and sends Jesus back. And man, there's lots of backs and forths in the story. And Pilate receives Jesus again. And there was a custom for the Roman Empire to release a Jewish prisoner before Passover. So Pilate starts to say, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with Jesus. He's done nothing legally wrong. I can't do anything. But as is our custom and our tradition, I have this man named Barabbas. I can let him go. And Barabbas was an insurrectionist. He tried to lead a revolt against the emperor and against the area, and he is basically taken out and put into prison. Jesus, with no wrongs, nothing legally against him. He's never spoken against the government. He's never done anything against the law, is basically thrown into the middle of this discussion. And there's this choice. Do we take Barabbas or Jesus? And I think the background is we can do more without Jesus here and have Barabbas than we can if Jesus stays here. So they began to say, give us Barabbas, give us Barabbas. Right after that, Pilate's like, well, then I don't know what to do with Jesus. And they begin to yell out. There's this chant over and over and over, getting louder and louder and louder. And Pilate knows he has to squash this. He has to do something. Even Pilate's wife sends him a message, don't have anything to do with this innocent man, for I have suffered a great deal today and a dream because of him. But the high priest continue, the elders continue, the people begin to cry out over and over and over, you need to do something with Jesus. We have no right to crucify him, but you can do this. So Pilate takes a basin and water, and he physically washes his hands of Jesus in front of the people. And he says, I will give Barabbas back over to you, but this innocent man's blood is on your heads. If this is what you want, I will do this. We must quiet this insurrection and not have anything else happen. So we know the rest of the story. I want to give you an encouragement to join in with us each day as we do these Bible studies, kind of looking into the background. And I hope that you will join us Friday night for a little bit of a different service, more of a reflective time, kind of a darker time of Good Friday, where we meet together and we pray and we worship and we do the Lord's Supper together on Friday at 6 o'clock. And then remember also that Sunday we have 2 worship times, an early worship and a late worship. If you're used to coming at 10:45, our late worship starts at 11, and I believe the early worship starts at 8:30, and we will have Sunday school to follow. So I hope that you will be a part of that, and I hope that as we celebrate our risen Lord, that you will be encouraged this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.